Happy Friday, folks. Welcome back to the random video blog where every single Friday I run down my rambling wrestling thoughts, share a few stories, etc., etc. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing the same clothes as I did last Friday here in the random video blog, it's because I'm filming these videos back to back. So fuck off if you're wondering that. I'm just kidding. You guys are great. So today I wanted to talk about my top 5 favorite feuds in wrestling. I would have waited until literally the week this video goes up to talk about something, but unless something goes down, which, I tend to do from time to time, but I don't know, this idea just came into my mind recently, and I don't know why I didn't talk about it earlier. I know I've talked about my favorite feuds before on like hashtag AskGSM and stuff, but it came into my mind today, like, you know what, after watching WrestleMania 32, as you'll find out in a second why I'm doing the video, and what comes into number 5, spoiler alert, but I was like, you know what, I have yet to do a video on my top 5 favorite feuds. At least I don't think so. And if I have, well, fuck me, that I'm doing a repeat video, because I hate doing repeat videos, and I haven't done one yet. But I don't think I've done my top 5 favorite feuds in WWE history, at least since I became a fan in 08, so you got to keep that in mind. And I mean, oh man, my list is all fucked up. There's one feud on here I did not put on here. Anyway, so an honorable mention, I'll say it right now. Fuck, I don't know why I didn't put these 2 feuds on there, but so I guess I'll insert them in right now. So we're switching it up on the fly here. First of all, Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho. One of the first feuds I was exposed to as a wrestling fan in 2008. And I didn't put it in my top 5 just because, I don't know, I loved it a lot, and it probably was the best feud to have happened in the past 10 years. But there's a difference between best feuds and favorite feuds. I like that one a lot. It's not my favorite. But it still was one of those feuds that helped get me and keep me in wrestling when I first started watching in 2008. And coming in at another honorable mention here, I don't know why I didn't talk about it, why I didn't include the other one I'll talk about momentarily, but so this one was number 5, got to bump it down. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho from early 2016. Love that feud a lot, just the way that it kind of played out with AJ coming in at the Royal Rumble, interacting with Chris Jericho in the Rumble match, beating him the next night on Raw, and then they had another match on SmackDown, which I personally think was their best match of the series of matches they had in early 2016. Then Jericho won that one. AJ won the rubber match at Fastlane. They had a 4th match at WrestleMania that Jericho won as well. And just a really, really good feud from the way that it kind of planted the seeds for Jericho's heel turn early on, and the matches they had. They had matches on pay-per-view, WrestleMania, Raw, SmackDown. So I thought the way they kind of structured it was really, really cool, and a great introduction of AJ Styles in the WWE. So coming in at my real number 5, again, I got to adjust my list on the spot here. There's one feud I forgot to mention, so I might as well bring that up momentarily. But coming in at number 5 is John Cena and CM Punk from 2011. It's one of, if not my favorite match of all time from Money in the Bank 2011. So to not say that their feud is among my favorites, I would be remiss if I didn't say that. And it really doesn't just start and stop in 2011. It really goes much further than that and goes back a lot more forward than that, if that makes sense. But they really started the face-off for the first time. They had a couple matches in late 2009 that you can currently watch. They can now watch on the network, cheap plug, now that all the Raw replays are now up on the network. They had a couple matches for the first time, like their first ever match one-on-one in late 2009. I think it was the Thanksgiving episode of Raw. Was really fucking good. They had some more matches in 2010. Their feud started and kind of really started to kick off in late 2010, early 2011. They had a couple matches, and then their series of matches, unforgettable series of matches in 2011, the summer of 2011, and Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and on Raw later that year. A couple matches in 2012 as well at Night of Champions, and one more match almost exactly 4 years ago from a couple weeks ago on the February 25th, 2014 episode of Raw. 2013, excuse me, where the winner went on to WrestleMania to face The Rock. Probably the best wrestled match they had. The Money in the Bank match, I think, is the best just because the story they told. But the best pure wrestling match those two had was on that episode of Raw 4 years ago. But Cena and Punk, always entertaining. 2 classic rivals. The promos they had from right before SummerSlam to right before Money in the Bank, to even as early as 2013 or as late as 2013, they were having great promos week to week to week for almost 4 to 5 years, and it was one of those current feuds that really transcended time that I loved a lot. Coming in at number 4, Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. In my opinion, what Punk and Cena were in the late to early 2000, the late 2000s, early 2010s is like what Ambrose and Rollins is to us now. A lot like Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the early to mid 2000s, where they would trade wins. Ambrose can never get that one definitive victory over Seth Rollins on pay-per-view. They would have a rich history at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, from Seth Rollins turning on Dean Ambrose in 2014, along with Roman Reigns, to split up the Shield. They had a great series of matches in 2014, a few more matches over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship that summer of 2015 the following year, and even more matches in 2016. And I'm sure we'll see them face off yet again at some point in the not-so-distant future, whether it be on SmackDown, Raw, on pay-per-view again, this time with the roles reversed. Who knows? But those two have always had some great series of matches. I said 3 years ago that they would have the Triple H and Shawn Michaels feud of our time, and so far it's living up to that hype. And I look forward to seeing what else we have yet to see from them in the future. Coming in at number 3, again, the feud I forgot to mention earlier, I forgot to put on my list, Edge versus The Undertaker. Again, one of those feuds from when I first started watching. And I wasn't even around when they really first started feuding in 2007, when Edge had cashed in Money in the Bank on Taker, won the World Heavyweight Championship, and then from that point forward, they went on the feud like later on that year when Edge won the World Heavyweight Championship, and that three-way with Undertaker and Batista at Armageddon, and they had the WrestleMania match, which I really wasn't around for. I did not start watching until right before their Backlash match. Actually, until right after their Backlash match, I started tuning into SmackDown. And that was when I really got hooked on the Taker and Edge feud. With everything they did, the promos they did, Taker getting banished from the company at One Night Stand, that TLC match is fucking great. The Hell in a Cell match, fucking great. The WrestleMania match, fucking great. So as much as I like Jericho and Michaels on Raw, Taker and Edge on SmackDown was my cup of tea in that summer of 2008, and I'll never forget it. Coming in at number 2, which was previously my top favorite feud of all time, and I'll get to my new number 1 favorite feud of all time in a moment. What previously held that record, previously held that spot for a long period of time. I've talked about it, on #AskGSM before and various other platforms. Randy Orton versus Christian in this series of matches those two had throughout 2011. I'm a big Orton fan. I love a lot of the feuds and matches he's had over the years with various different competitors. Seth Rollins specifically and a few others, but no Orton feud for me beats out the one that he had with Christian. Again, just the way that it was kind of booked out and the way that it kind of played out from early 2011, just days after Christian won his first World Heavyweight Championship. He lost it. He had to drop it to Randy Orton on SmackDown in a great match. And then only weeks later, getting his rematch, losing that, and he just kind of went berserk, turned on Randy Orton, got one more match. A capital punishment, he lost again. And when all hope seemed to have been lost for Christian, he got, again, one more match in Money in the Bank, cheated to win, won via DQ, kind of some stupid bullshit there, but he won the belt. And the match was also very good on that night. And one of their better matches of the series came at SummerSlam a couple weeks after that, and another really, really, really strong match in the no-holds-barred stipulation. And then another match on SmackDown after that, inside a steel cage, which you can now watch on the network. I think it's up by this point. But yeah, just the series of matches they had, the slow unraveling heel turn for Christian in 2011 was just beautiful to watch unfold. And the matches they had are still among my favorite matches as a fan to this day. And coming in at number 1, my favorite feud of all time as a fan since I started watching 9 years ago, and it only recently surpassed Orton and Christian as my new number 1 favorite feud of all time, John Cena versus AJ Styles. And maybe it would not be number 1 if I wasn't there for that second match. But again, a feud I waited for so long to see. And for it to not only meet my lofty expectations as a fan, but to then exceed them in the matches they had, the chemistry they had. AJ Styles coming out on the night that John Cena returned, on the 2016 Memorial Day episode of Raw, comes on out to the ring and confronts him in his first night back in WWE, turns on him, rejoins with the Shield, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. He has those guys in his corner, AJ Styles does. And the promos they cut going to Money in the Bank were great. That right there would have solidified it as a top 5 favorite feud. Maybe not number 1, But those promos alone would have made that feud fun for me had the feud stopped there. But AJ won. AJ Styles won their first match, which in and of itself was unbelievable, albeit not clean, but AJ won via help. John Cena kind of, leveled the playing field, the battleground, by winning with Enzo and Cass in his corner in a 6-man tag team match against the Club. Playing field was even. Come SummerSlam, Part 2, Cena Styles 2. Second match, even better than the first. I was there for that match at SummerSlam, one of, if not, my favorite match I've ever seen live. In addition to Sasha Banks and Bayley, obviously, from TakeOver Brooklyn 2 years ago, in that same exact building. But AJ winning clean. He won fucking clean. Again, he could not win by himself the first time, but he won. He proved himself by winning clean the second time. Like, the story they told was incredible, and I loved it so much. Everything they did made sense, and it was so cool. And in my opinion, the best main roster match of 2016. So then they took a bit of a break. AJ came back, or Cena came back from a hiatus. Or even after their own match, even after that match, Cena had the armband and he took it off in the middle of the ring. It's like, what's going to happen next? And then Cena came back, and Cena, in his absence, AJ took the armband, he wore it around his head. Cena targeted the championship, losing again to AJ at No Mercy in the triple threat with Dean Ambrose. Again, a tremendous triple threat match. And having one more match, the promo that played before their bout at the Royal Rumble was incredible. In the last line, I'm going to fuck it up, I know. But the line of AJ that he said towards John Cena, and among my favorite I think every one of these feuds that I mentioned has a great video package or two. Like the Orton Christian one, I love the feud. I love the promo they played for it right before, I think, Capital Punishment. For AJ Punk, it's obviously the one at Money in the Bank. For Cena, AJ, it's the one that played right before SummerSlam. I was thinking the Rumble. I meant to say SummerSlam, where he said, after I beat you, John, you know what my favorite part of SummerSlam's going to be, John, is when after I beat you, and you come out here on SmackDown Live, and you got to admit to the whole world that AJ Styles is better than I am. And then if you do, you're a loser. And if you don't, you're a liar. Either way, John, I win. And I thought that line was so tremendous. But anyway, going into the Rumble and the video package that played before that match gave me goosebumps. I still think the SummerSlam match was better, but that Royal Rumble match was probably just up there, just as good. Probably on the same level, if not better. Again, really, really strong match. Cena finally winning, third time's the charm, to become a 17-time WWE champion. And I'm sure we have yet to see the end of that feud in WWE. I'm sure we have yet to see the end of it. And it will be, I'm sure we'll see many more matches between the two in the future. They also faced off inside the Elimination Chamber a couple weeks after that, although they didn't really have too much of an interaction. They started out the match, which was cool. But yeah, I think as of right now, I can safely say Cena and AJ Styles is my new #1 favorite feud in WWE. What's yours of all time? If I'm talking all time, I got to put like Shawn Michaels and Triple H in there. I've always loved that feud. I've always been very fond of that feud, even though I was not a fan at that time. So, what is your favorite feud of all time? Top 1, top 2, top 3, top 5? What are your favorite feuds in WWE history? All time in like other promotions, I would say like in Lucha Underground, I would say Mil Muertes and Phoenix had a great feud a couple years ago. In TNA, easily James Storm and Bobby Roode. And also Roode versus Austin Aries had a great feud as well. They had a great feud too. NXT, I would say Sami Zayn, Cesaro would be up there. Just a lot of different things you could touch upon. But anyway, guys, would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. Tweet me on the Twitter machine at WrestleRant. Find me on Facebook at Facebook.com. Like the page at Facebook.com/Graham.GSM.Matthews. And right here on the channel, check out the website too at NextWrestling.net. But right here on the channel, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, share the video. All that stuff is amazingly appreciated. So as the road to WrestleMania 33 rolls on, guys, where I will be in attendance, and I can't fucking wait. More exclusive content on the road to WrestleMania coming to you guys in the next couple weeks, including exclusive videos from the site of WrestleMania 33 Orlando, the Citrus Bowl, for both TakeOver and WrestleMania in the weeks ahead. I cannot fucking wait. I think we're just a little over 3 weeks away, and I'm super, super excited if you couldn't already tell. So that being said, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch you guys down the road to WrestleMania.